My name is Comfort Olanureti Adedubi. I'm a counselor by profession and mental health therapist. And in recent times, it occurred to me that we should start an avenue where we can reach back to the society. Hence, we started a platform that we named Healing Hearts Journey, where mental health matters will be discussed. Various things that could affect us, that could affect our mental health, will be discussed in this platform. Hence this video. Today we want to talk about mental health. We want to start with mental health. How does it affect us as individuals? And I would like to start by talking about a particular scenario I found myself in 2 or 3 days back, where I went to get some things, and the lady there started talking about how the increase in prices of things, especially household items, has really affected her and her mental health. And I looked at it and I said, this is the time for us to start talking about it. How do we avoid these things that give us issues mentally? You know, when we look at the world nowadays, even us in Nigeria especially, that the price of fuel is just fluctuating between 600 and 700, and you need to go out, if you know, sometimes to do 1 or 2 things for yourself and for probably your family, and you find out that a lot of things are happening around. You know, all these things are causes of mental health issues, because if you are not mentally fit, you cannot be physically fit. So that's why we need to help ourselves to talk about mental health. So let me start by asking, what is mental health? Mental health has to do with our psychological well-being, emotional and social well-being. So if we are talking about mental health, then we are talking about how do you relate with people. You know, how does this mental health, your mental health, how does it affect your physical well-being? In other words, the mind controls the brain. Whatever message you pass to the brain will be passed directly to the body. And so, in other words, anything that affects your mental health will definitely affect your physical well-being and your emotional well-being, psychological and your social well-being. If you are not fine psychologically, you can't be fine associating with people. So when we are talking about mental health, we say it affects the way you think, it affects the way you act, that is the way you behave to people and the way you think. So your mental health control your feeling, your action and your thoughts. And you know, these 3 things are important to the well-being of human being. In other words, when you have negative thoughts all through, then it affects you. It affects you. It affects every part of your body. And then another thing that it helps us in how to handle our stress. You know, we go through a lot of things in the society, as I'm saying, even as a family member. Sometimes you have a stubborn child in the house that you are thinking of how to handle. If there is no peace in your home, all these affect mental health. So all these things, I want to say it is part of life anyways. It's part of life, because you find out that even your friends, your relations, your family, your acquaintance, your subordinates, your colleagues, everybody, even your boss in the office, you know, you relate with them one way or the other. And if you have issue with all these people, it will definitely affect you. You come back home, you transfer aggression, you are aggressive, you are hostile, you do all these things are, you know, signs of mental health issue. In other words, when you are aggressive, you are hostile, there's something has gone wrong somewhere in your mental faculty that you need to fix immediately, so that it won't lead to any other severe, you know, sickness or diseases. So it's very important because that we should talk about mental health, because it affects the way you think, the way you act, that is the way you behave, and your social well-being, that is the way you relate with people. I will also say that mental health is a state of well-being, mental well-being, that enables people to cope with the stress of life, as I have said earlier, then realize their abilities, learn well and work well. If your mental health is not perfect, if you have issue with your mental health, your take home, what you deliver in your place of work or whatever you do, even if you are handling a business, it will affect them. So it is very essential to women. Even when we are talking about spirituality, mental health has to do with it. If a pastor does not have good mental health, if the mental health of a pastor is not stable, is not good, the preaching will be somehow. Going out will be difficult. Dishing out the word of God undiluted, will be affected. So it affects everybody. There is nobody above mental issues. There's nobody above mental health. There is nobody. Even when Jesus Christ was alive, there was a time he slept. At least it's so powerful not to sleep. So mental health has to do with everybody, and there's nobody above mental health. That is why it is essential that we take care of our mental health at this time. That at this time is very, very essential. So mental health is a state in which someone maintains well-being, manages stress, and lives productively. You need to live productively. If you want to live productively, you want to dish out your best in whatever you do, then you must have sound mental health. So why mental health is important? Why is it important? Why do we have to talk about it? Why do we have to relate, talk about it at this time? Number one is that mental health plays a vital role in our overall well-being, as I have been explaining before. There is a particular point at which any faculty can crash. The body is like a faculty that consists of the body, the soul, and the spirit. Then we are talking about the mental, the emotional, the psychological, and social well-being of a particular person. If this faculty is not properly taken care of mentally, that is, let me cite an example, that you have a hostile boss. You have a very difficult boss in your place of work, and you have been working with this boss all the time. You have been working, and he has been giving you issue. Probably everything you have been doing has not been good. You have not reached our own level of perfection, or whatever he or she wants. You have not been able to get to that level, and each time you find out that each time you go to him, you are afraid. A little kind of fear. I want to go and meet this person. At that point in time, the vacuum, the body is crashing down. The body is crashing down because you have allowed that action to affect you. And it's not as if the person has slapped you. It's not as if it's just a mere, kind of relationship. The talking is not that giving you peace. The moment you lose that your personal peace, the moment you lose that your personal peace and rest of mind, then that particular vacuum is breaking down. And when you do not take care of that immediately, to sort it, either to table it, process it, what will I do to make my boss like what I am doing? Should I reach out to her or him? What immediately you need to do something at that point in time. If not, it will lead to anxiety. It will lead to hostility. You will get home, all those things you have encountered in your place of work, you take it home and you begin to use it. You unleash it on your family member, and before you know it, you have no peace in the place of work. You have break everybody's peace and rest in the home by transferring aggression when you get home, and so you have no peace at home again. So if there is no peace at home, there is no peace in your place of work, then your total well-being will crash. And when that crashes, it's going to affect your physical well-being. Headache will set in, anxiety will set in, mood swing, anything, panic attack, if care is not taken. That is why mental health is very, very important to our overall well-being. It is just as important as our physical health. As a result, heavily influences our quality health. That is, if you are not, as I have explained before, if you don't do anything at that point in time, that you begin to feel unrest in your spirit, in your mind, in your soul. If you don't do anything that you need to do at that particular point in time, it will lead to something. It will affect your physical well-being. Because when headache sets in, before you know it, that normal headache will aggravate to migraine. Before you know it, panic attack setting. Before you know, by the time you are getting to the office and you are sighting your office like this, your heart will skip bam. And that means your mental health has issue and you need to fix it. So it's very important that we know that mental health is very, very important to our well-being and to our productivity. The level of our productivity depends on our mental health. Mental health can impact our thoughts, action, and interaction. Yes, as I've explained earlier, if you have positive, and at least if you have issue with somebody, definitely your thoughts towards that thing that has happened or to that individual, 80% might be negative. May I shock you that every human being has or undergo 70 to 80,000 thoughts within 24 hours. And do you know that 85% of these thoughts are negative thoughts? So if you are full of negative thoughts all the time, if you don't, there's what we call mind shift in mental health. If at that point in time, this thought that comes to your heart, you do not do anything about it, you live with that negative thought, and everything that surrounds you will be negative. So that is why your thought is important in your mental health. Very, very important. Your thought has to do with everything that concerns you. That is why you don't have to allow anything that will affect your mental health, because definitely it will affect your thoughts. And if 85% of your thoughts per day is negative, then you know that you have work to do. And this is what shall be discussing in this platform. We shall be releasing videos upon videos to help you, to have a very good mental health, and to be able to relate well, to be able to, what can you do to when you have this negative thought. We will be discussing about it and all other things that are related to health matters. So, and your actions, if you have negative thoughts, if my thought says, I'm going to do work today, I don't think I can do what my boss has asked me to do, definitely you have prepared your ground. Your foundation for that day has been negative. So everything you will do might be negative throughout the day. So your thought controls your action, and your action controls your interaction with people. And when people are interacting with you, you don't see any good thing in them. You don't see any good thing in whatever they are saying. So it's important, because mental health can impact our thoughts, our actions, and our interaction. It empowers us to navigate challenges and build meaningful relationship. When you have good mental health, it will help you to navigate challenges. Fine. A lot of us have gone through some things in life, stories that are unpleasant. A lot of people, a lot of heroes, a lot of survivor of pains, whether abuse, whether rape, whether anything, whether you lost of friends or loved ones. All those are pains, emotional pains that has been a challenge to us individually, as we move in the journey of life. But how do we navigate it? When you have good mental health, to be able to come over it. And the best thing in life, even as I am sitting down with you talking about mental health, I cannot begin to count the kind of pains I have encountered personally in life. But by the grace of God, I am able to navigate them. I've been able to maneuver around these challenges. I've been able to see the positive side of that challenge, because the fact that you survive a particular pain means you have overcome them and you can do better. So that has been my way of life. That okay, fine, anything that painful has happened to me, then I'm able to navigate it. I'm able to see the challenges. And how do you do that? You table them. We shall be discussing more about it. But let me just tell you, table those challenges. I've been a victim of rape, and you come out and you survive it. Then that will tell you that fine, I'm a survivor. What if I die? And you begin to knock off those negative thoughts. You begin to knock off those negative feelings that comes out of that pain. And as you are trying hard, it's hard sometimes, and it can take time. It doesn't mean that it has to happen bam or suddenly, or it's like a miracle. No, you begin to do it, you shift it gradually until you are able to see the positive side of your life, and that you are still alive, you can still move ahead. So mental health can help you to navigate challenges and build meaningful relationship. A lot of people that have gone through one thing or the other, pains in life, making relationship is difficult to them. For example, if somebody has been jilted so many times, going back to relationship might be difficult. But you will just come that, okay, I've survived 5, that means I can go ahead. The number of the times you fail determines the number of level of heights you will climb in life. So it doesn't really matter how many times you have failed. But the moment you determine that you are moving forward, then you move forward. Then you tell yourself, I can do this thing. If I have failed 5 times and I'm able to survive it, then I'm a survivor. In other words, I have the strength and the potential in me to move ahead and to achieve whatever I want to achieve. And that is how life is all about. Mental health is a basic human right. It's your right. It's your right to be happy. It's your right to do things that will make you happy. It's your right to avoid people that will, that will give you pains. It's not compulsory you have a friend that will pull you down when somebody is always pulling you down, when somebody is always saying negative things about you, and you cannot navigate through their relationship. Then quit and make yourself happy. A lot of things that happens around you that you can avoid, you can avoid them so that you have good mental health to navigate your life, to be happy, to come out of anything and be a survivor. Emotional and mental health is important because it is a vital part of our life and impacts our thoughts, our behavior, and our emotion. Now, we want to talk about the 6 benefits of mental health. We have so many benefits, but let's quickly run through the 6 benefits that I have here of mental health. Number 1 is our good physical health. As I have said earlier, if your mental health is okay and is perfect, definitely your physical well-being will be perfect. If you are having symptoms of headache and you are thinking within you, oh, malaria has come, the moment you accept it, it has entered your mental health, and so it's not going. But some will just have headache and say, oh, I need to rest, let me just rest, and that will be the end of the headache. So if you don't allow anything to affect your mental health, definitely you will have good and perfect physical health. Another thing is that it increases our life expectancy. If you have good physical health, good mental health, then there's possibility that you live longer than the normal person that walk all through the day and has mental issue. The mental health is not good. His mind is full of evil thoughts. His body, the moment your mind is full of evil thoughts, it affects your body, it affects your system, because you have sent a particular message to your brain and it will radiate through your body, and before you know it, the moment you have it, within few minutes it will affect your physical body. And so if your physical body is not good, your mental health is not good, then definitely there's possibility that such an individual can die than the normal time. So it increases life expectancy. Then better social relationship, that is the number 1 thing that will benefit from good mental health. You are able to relate well with people. You do not see the bad thing in the people, much more than the good things out of them. And one thing about relationship is that you must learn to see the good aspect of a person, not the bad side all the time. When you are the type that always see the bad side of an individual, then that means you need to work on your mental health that leads to your social well-being, because you will not be able to relate well. But when you have good and perfect mental health, you relate with people. So it's one of the benefits is that it gives better social relationship. While you are outside, you are smiling, and your smiling is healing people. There's a difference between somebody that goes out and look gloomy and somebody that goes out and have good perfect mental health, and he or she enters the place and she started smiling. Oh no, nothing has really inspired him or her to smile, but he or she is just smiling, and you see that smile will begin to radiate. It's like it will begin to go from one person to the other, and that is what mental health can be. It will give you better social relationship. Then high level of productivity. I said it earlier, if your mental health is not sound, it's not good, your productivity will be affected. You are there dejected, your mind is not there, your mind is full of, oh, I can't do it, maybe I will fail again today. The moment you begin to have that kind of thoughts, then it will affect your productivity. And when your productivity is low, then your outcome in life too might be low. I don't want to say negative things. Then it will affect your creativity. If you are sound, your mind is perfect. It's not as if we cannot. Don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say. That you will not go through people to hurt you. It's a lie. your children do hurt, your husband, your spouse can hurt, your friend, people that you have relied on has stabbed you at the back. All these things will still happen, but you have a way, because you have this understanding of how to, you know, navigate these challenges. Then you are able to come out of it. You do not allow them to pull you down, because if these people, if you allow them to pull you down, you know, it will affect your mental health, and they will physically and personally, you know, relegate you to nothing. Because the moment you allow all these things in your mind, the moment you process them in your mind as a negative thing, and you allow it, it's bitterness setting. When bitterness setting, high blood pressure setting, and you are not able to forgive that person, you begin to process it every day, and it is from that bad thought towards that person, bitterness, anger, aggression, anxiety, all those things setting. And so how can you create, how can you think of your own life, how can you think of your career, how can you think of the good things you can do or you can achieve, or how can you impact people around you? Your creativity will be low. That's why mental health is very essential for us as human beings, so that we'll be able to create and fulfill purpose. You can only fulfill purpose when you have good mental health. Then improving learning. If you are in the school and your mind is in the abuse, your father has beaten your mother yesterday night, and the heart of that child is there, and that child has nobody to help him or her process that pain, it will affect learning. When we are talking, I think our next video will be on abuse. We will talk about how we can help our children, how the symptoms we can see in our children to really see that they have been abused, or something is wrong with them, or their mental health is not good. So with these 6 points of the benefit of mental health, we shall be ending our video for today. Please look out for our next video, and if this particular one has, you know, helped you in one way or the other, you have benefited in one way or the other, please share this video. Let other people, you know, benefit from it. Let's together help ourselves in this society. Together we can erase or eradicate mental health crisis in our family, in our individual lives, and in the society at large. Thank you.